Super welcome to this video. Guys, today I bring with me a very special, very cool and very fast game. And who am I, you might ask? Well, I'm good old Papa Slim. I'm the guy who hunts down the most brutal and awesome games on this planet. So you don't have to do the hunting, but only the enjoying by watching my videos and then playing the games. Now, alright my broskis, as I said, today we're checking out DeadBoot. And this one, it had a Steam playtest running very recently, and I think that it might be over by the time that you're watching this, but don't quote me on that. The Steam playtests, sometimes they disappear faster than my motivation to be productive, but sometimes they also last a bit longer than that, so I'm not sure when it ends. Either way though, DeadBoot is a game that's absolutely worth keeping on your radar, because it's already showing a ton of potential. So DeadBoot is being developed and published by Thinking Frog, which is a Swedish studio, which makes me automatically biased for it, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything. But the game itself is basically a fast-paced, room-to-room, first-person action shooter with a big focus on melee combat, kicks and environmental kills. And that's something that I quite like a lot. And right away, it's impossible not to mention the comparison. DeadBoot, it takes a lot of inspiration from Cruel. And if you haven't played Cruel, imagine a game where every room is its own little combat puzzle, and the solution is always some variation of hit them with a pipe, shoot them in the face, and throw them into something that looks extremely illegal. Yeah, that's the core loop of Cruel. And DeadBoot is very much in that same lane, but it places everything in this near-future cyberpunk industrial setting. Lots of metal, concrete, machines, and the kind of workplace hazards that would get a building shut down instantly in real life. Now before we move on, I want to say this early on in the video. The combat of DeadBoot feels amazing. Everything has that crunchy, impactful feel that you want from a game like this. Shots, they feel like they hit hard. Melee feels heavy. Enemies, they react properly when you slam them around. And the game moves at a pace that keeps it exciting without feeling sloppy. And once you find your own flow, DeadBoot, it turns into one of those games where you're just clearing rooms back to back, getting faster and better each time. And you don't really want to stop, because the rhythm, it is so freaking satisfying. Your momentum, kick, shoot, smash, move, repeat, and it just works. I tried making a song of that, but that absolutely did not work. Now where DeadBoot separates itself a little bit is in its level design. The rooms and arenas in this game, they feel bigger than what you get in, say, Cruel. And that might not sound huge on paper, but it changes the combat quite a lot. With the extra space, you have more room to reposition, dodge enemy fire, bait enemies into chasing you, and actually take advantage of the environment in a more intentional way. In a lot of similar games, environmental kills can sometimes feel like they happen because enemies are conveniently standing next to the hazard. But here, because the rooms are larger, it feels more like you're actively setting things up. You're luring enemies across the room, pulling them into danger, and then kicking them into grinders or electric hazards at the perfect moment. It is less press this button at the exact right time, and more I just baited you into the worst decision of your goddamn life. And I'm actually a big fan of that. Now in the playtest specifically, we get 5 levels, and they're all set in this factory environment that you're seeing on screen right now. And the factory, it is jam-packed with environmental hazards, like electric traps, grinders, and even objects dropping from the ceiling that just crushes enemies. They're technically not objects, it's actually just crushers that goes from the ceiling down to the floor and crushes anything in between. And honestly, it's hard not to enjoy that, because turning enemies into pancakes will never stop being funny. Now on the weapon side of things, the playtest gives you a pretty simple loadout. We got one double barrel shotgun, one single barrel shotgun, an Uzi and a pistol. And for melee, we got a brick and a metal pipe, which is a perfect summary of this game's energy. Half cyberpunk assassin, half I grabbed whatever was closest and now we're doing violence. Now after each level, you get to choose upgrades, and I actually really like how this system works because it's quite unique. and your performance, it really matters. If you clear a level fast or wipe out every enemy, you can earn extra upgrades, which is a really clean way to reward playing aggressively and efficiently. It's basically the game saying, okay, you played like a psycho, here's more power, now go play like an even more powerful psycho. And that is the kind of positive reinforcement that I can get behind. I'm making so bad jokes in this video. God damn, I'm sorry. Now the upgrades themselves in the playtest, they aren't super exciting yet. They're more practical than flashy. We got stuff like melee weapons lasting longer, having more durability, pistol ammo returning on headshots, movement speed boost while holding melee weapons, which you will always do, and yeah, they do make a difference, and they help you build momentum, but nothing in the playtest made me go, oh my god, that upgrade just changed the entire game and my whole life. But again, it's a playtest. This is the kind of thing that I'd expect to be expanded upon later on. Now, one thing that we didn't see at all in the playtest though was any kind of boss fight, so I can't confirm if bosses are a part of the full game. And I really hope that they are, because comparing this to Cruel, which we should do, Cruel originally launched without a boss as well, and it took a long time before that got added, so I'm really hoping that DeadBoot comes out the gate a little bit stronger in that department. All of this said though, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. DeadBoot is very similar to Cruel, and I don't mean, oh, it's inspired by it, like it borrowed a few ideas. I mean, at times it's almost feeling like Cruel 2 in a new coat. Even the text used in the trailer feels extremely close, and I'm not gonna lie, that part made me a little bit uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that because the game is bad. The game is fantastic if you didn't get that already, but because it is so close that I start to raise an eyebrow when I look and play it. And I'm genuinely curious what you guys think about it, especially if you played the playtest too. Because there is a difference in my book between inspiration and being a little too familiar, and DeadBoot is definitely walking that line. Here, have a comparison video that I put together on Cruel and DeadBoot, so that you get what I'm talking about here. Now that you saw that, drop them comments down below. Let's talk about it, but let's keep it civil and respectful, okay? But yet again, none of this changes the main point of this video, which is that DeadBoot is insanely fun. Combat, it's crunchy, it's fast, satisfying, and once the flow kicks in, it turns into an absolute room-clearing satisfaction machine. So I mainly wanted to do a quick spotlight video here and make sure that more people know about this game and its existence. Because even if it feels familiar, I am not the judge to put the hammer down on the table and tell when something is drawing inspiration from it and when it's literally just stealing from it. I'm not the man to be the judge of that. So yeah, simply, for now, keep an eye on DeadBoot and let me know down in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, you're bloody amazing. And this year for the channel has started off absolutely phenomenal, so I couldn't be happier right now, and I'm gonna do my best to pump out even more quality, awesome videos just like this one. And if you enjoy it, remember to hit that like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Over and out.